It's Glitchfies, and we are checking out some mobile games. You can see them all on screen right now. We're going to be checking all these out, and we're going to actually see if any of them are any good. Okay, so the top, this one here, if I can grab it. Yeah, there we go. This one we may not be doing because that's a Minecraft mod, but I downloaded it just in case we do. Uh, Probably not, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, that being said, let's start with, let's start with what I think will probably be the worst one we'll look at today, and that's Ship Games Driving Simulator. So, I don't really know what to expect here. Oh, what is this? Yep, as I said, I don't know what to expect here, but, something is certainly happening. Looks like, okay, is that our ship, is it? Oh, and we immediately get an advert for King Supers. That our ship then? I think that might be our ship. Good. Alright, I guess we ought to hit start. Power good, health good, handling good. Alright. And another advert straight away. Alright. Skip and close. Missions or more game? Just the one. Just the one more game. Just the one. Alright, I guess we'll start with mission 1, naturally. As I said, I reckon this will be the worst one we check out today, so, seems only right to start with this, right? Start engine. Good. Good. That's the sound the ships should make. Okay, so I steer using the wheel, do I? Yeah. Can I tilt the phone? No. And the anchor... What does that do? So if I'm moving forward and I drop the anchor, it does nothing. Good. Good. We're off to a very good start. Are we gonna hit that land? I mean, in reality, probably, but I guess we're safe. Good. The camera is so glitchy, by the way. In fact, oh, I can go into... Oh, look at this! Oh, look at this! I hope this music isn't copyright. I imagine it probably is. Alright. It made a big point of showing us the fisherman, didn't it? Anyway, let's move forward. I think we have 3 speeds, and they're stop, go, and backwards. Yeah. So it's not actually a throttle, it's just buttons. Oh, that's fun anyway. Let's hang on, I'm sorry. I don't think the comments are working. Let me go ahead and open this up. What game is this? This is Ship Driving Simulator or something like that. It's as I said, I opened the video with this. I reckon this is probably the worst one we're going to check out. I apologize that it didn't have chat on. I do now. Alright, let's go ahead and quickly do this mission again and get it out of the way so we can move on to, hopefully, an actually good game. Oh, another advert for King Supers. King Supers really wants us to know they exist. Alright. Let's go ahead and tell the ship to go. That's all we can do. We can just say... We can put the ship into the go speed. Be nice if the ship could move faster. Okay, the treasure chests are very, very lenient with where you touch them. So I guess I should say, like, for a mobile game, it's about what you should expect. I do have a couple that I do think will be significantly better, though. There's no smoke out of the funnels. And by the way, can I mention, what is going on with those funnels? Are they wrapped in, like, a fishing net or something? Don't think that's where fishing boats keep their nets. Oh, we've got a helipad on the front. I hadn't even noticed. Wait, hang on. Yeah, let's just check this ship out for a second. What is going on here? So it looks like we've got a cardboard superstructure. That's very good. Perfect. Perfect mission. More adverts. All right. That's good. Good night. Oops. Nope. I can't skip this or do anything. I'm probably blocking it. Yep, I was. All right. Okay, well, I think that tells us what we need to know with that one. Whoops. So let's go ahead and close this app. We don't need this anymore. Go ahead and close that. All right. And let's go ahead and have a look at some other ones that I've got. So we also have so that was this one, Ship Games Driving Simulator 2. Let's go ahead and actually just uninstall that. I will not be playing that again. Okay, so let's actually move on to my favorite of the Olympic class trio. That would be Olympic, Titanic, and Britannic. Let's move on to the Olympic. And yes, I believe I've mentioned this in live streams before. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it in a video, but Olympic is actually my favorite of the three Olympic class ocean liners. Her story is just insane. Let's go ahead and get started. Touchpad mode, we're going to use normal. All right. Let's make sure. Oops. Olympic modes, exposition, night, driving, Harland and Wolff. Interesting. We might check those out later. For now, let's have a look around the ship. All right. So we got the mast. Very good. Lots of detail on the deck. This is better than the model that I made, to be honest. Significantly better. Crane's looking good. Anchor chains, very nice. How's that auxiliary anchor looking? Yep, that's an auxiliary anchor right there. Having a look at the Olympic. Beautiful. Oh, wait, we can change the year. So we can look at her in 1911 or 1913. Okay, so for anyone who's not aware, Olympic actually received a fairly minor refit in 1913, which just gave her a lot more lifeboats to make up the numbers because of the Titanic disaster. And yes, this is the Olympic. This is not the Titanic. If we look over here, you can see the bridge wings are flush with the side of the hull. Can we see that? Might be easier from back here. Yeah, there we go. You can see they don't overhang the way they did on Titanic. In 1913, I believe they would have done, actually, so the game might have that wrong, or I might have the date wrong in my head that they changed that. But they were eventually changed to have an overhang like there was on Titanic. Coming up these stairs here. Could we go in any doors? No, it doesn't look like it. So I think there are interiors here, but I think they're going to be separate, like on a separate model to the exterior exploration. Yes, we have a B-deck promenade on the Olympic that we can explore. Let me go ahead and see. Oh, I can actually just do this. Here we go. Now we can move a lot faster. The grand staircase is off limits, closed off. We cannot access it. It's unfortunate. And there's a wall back here. There shouldn't be a wall back here, unless, hang on, if I go 1911. Oh, it removes the window spars, apparently. But not this wall, which should not be here. Yeah, that wall actually shouldn't be there. Not in 1911, and I don't believe in 1913. She might have received a Cafe Parisien in 1913. I need to brush up on my Olympic history, to be honest. It's not great. Anyway, slow on back down, and we'll just go for a walking pace around A deck. So here we go. Coming out onto A deck, you can see here, right above me, is the bridge wing, and you can see it doesn't hang out at all for the side. That would be lifeboats number 1. Yes, the starboard side gets the odd numbers, the port side gets the even numbers. So that right there is lifeboat number 1. This would be collapsible C. Then I guess up on the roof, yep, you've got collapsible A. And if I go into 1911, see, yeah, the game has that wrong as well. So, it does kind of represent it, but I think it's possible that whoever developed this was confused looking at the photos of the ship. So what would happen here is it shouldn't be two standard lifeboats. Lifeboat number 2 should still be there, and then right here you should have collapsible C and collapsible A stacked on top of each other. And that was kind of Olympics thing. Gate here. We'll go through. Actually, did I see a door? Not one that we can go through. Okay. So as we continue back, if I switch the ship back into 1913, we should see a bunch of lifeboats spawn in the middle of the ship here. Let's see. Yep, there they are. You got a bunch of regulation boats stacked on top of collapsibles. Exactly as you would have seen on the actual Olympic in 1913. And this is actually the reason that Britannic was given gantry davits, because this definitely makes the deck look cluttered, but better to have enough lifeboats for everyone than for everyone to be able to see. Coming up onto the compass platform, if I can. There we go. Got a binnacle, red and green. Oops, I will call that later, maybe. Let's see. And yeah, that's so that's the exterior of the Olympic, really. We can run to the stern, but other than that, she didn't differ too much from Titanic. So the B-deck promenade, which weirdly is closed off. Oh, there would be a gate there separating. Alright, I wonder if we come back to the stern of the ship. I wonder if we'll be allowed to... Yeah, so we do have the second class entrance, and I'm assuming this is just to accommodate being able to go downstairs. They did leave A-deck blocked off, so kudos for that, because that's accurate. And then coming down here, we have B-deck. And, yeah, no, see, I think that wall is still... Like, I think it's too far aft here and too far forward at the, too far forward on the forward part of it, so I think there's an entire section of the promenade just kind of missing. Well, that's alright. We can't go down... Oh, no, we can't go down to C-deck, but they do have it modeled, so... Kudos for that. That looks good. I wonder if we can go into C-deck. Let's see if we can get into that little open promenade. And this is something that both ships would have had as well, so... Coming down here, we have... no, that's a... That would be a JPEG door, so we can't use it. How about up here? Benches. Much nicer than the benches that I put on my model of Titanic. Yeah, this is, in general, a very, very pretty model to look at. Let's see what playability it has. So, I noticed the driving, and I'm curious, so let's see. Alright. So it puts us here, which is interesting. So this is where, obviously in the Titanic film, this is where Murdoch stands when the iceberg is spotted. The helms would actually have been in there, where I'm kind of looking directly around. In fact, I can point the handle of the telegraph at it. That wheel right there would have been the main one used on the ship. And these telegraphs would have almost always been at full speed ahead. Let's go ahead and set the ship speed to full. So she's now apparently moving at 22 knots. Let's go ahead and turn. Let's try to turn. Keep trying to turn. Oh yeah, you can see how slow the ship is to respond. But, I mean, that's what you get when you do... Oh, the wheel just kind of stays where you leave it. Fair enough. And this is still apparently the 1913 model. If I... Okay. So I can switch it between 1911 and 1913. I'll leave it 1913 for now. We can actually go... Can we get into the wheelhouse? Ah, we can't. That's a shame. I guess there's only a helm in there anyway. But then, yeah, coming through here, we do have... This helm would really have only been used near docks. And then, interesting, that the engine room... So according to the arrows here, the telegraph on the bridge is signaling to the engine room all stop. And the telegraph in the engine room is signaling to us that they're at full astern. Interesting. Definitely interesting. And I'll notice with this little graphic as well, you see how that little needle inside moves with the handle? That's actually not accurate. Sorry, my brain I just completely forgot what I was trying to say. If I go to 1911, this little stairwell here, there should be a covering over it that goes all the way up. That's all right. It's a minor detail. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yes, the little needle in the telegraph graphic would actually be signaling what the engine room has received. So when I move this to full, the little needle should stay on stop until the engine room receives the order. I guess the engine room is receiving the orders at the same time that I'm giving them here, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and back out of the driving then. So there is some playability there. What else can we do? Holland and Wolf, huh? I'm curious about this. Oh, we can launch the Olympic. Oh, that's fun. All right. Go ahead and launch her. This is going to take a while. She is a big, big object, so... There she goes. If I go to 3 times, I can move a little bit faster, and maybe we can actually watch her enter the water here. Oh yeah, she's moving. We can't outpace her, though. Oh, interesting detail that they've captured correctly. There are no propellers on the ship yet. We should look on the exposition model in a sec and see if there are propellers on that. I imagine there are. I mean, they're a pretty crucial thing to get right for these ships. There she goes. That's a good speed that she's moving at. Here she comes. You'll notice here that she's painted white, not black, like we saw earlier. And that would be because, well, she was painted white in 1911. Here, they're returning wholly. Right. Let's continue. Let's see. You can see Titanic here as well. Very much incomplete next to her sister. In fact, there are a couple of details on Titanic that I'd like to check and see if that's right. No, B-Deck is wrong on the Titanic. In fact, it's right on the Olympic. I haven't even checked this. Are the window arrangements correct on the Olympic? Find out. No, they're not. That is interesting. They left the window arrangement Olympic the same as it is on the Titanic, which leads me to believe that they modeled the Titanic, converted that model into the Olympic, but didn't quite cover all their bases. But it's alright, they got a part at least, which is good. And I noticed that on Titanic as well. Cranes are painted black, which is interesting. Well, they're probably not painted, it's probably just bare metal. Then they're portraying the anchors painted as white as well, which I don't recall. I would have to find a photo of the ship, but I don't think they were. But yep, that's how she would have looked at her launch. Just about all the windows on B-Deck should be the same width and distance apart. But the ones to the would be slightly farther apart than the rest because, well, there's an expansion joint going through them. Okay, anyway, that was pretty cool to watch. I was kind of hoping for some particle effects, which there weren't, but that's alright. And yeah, you got Titanic there as well. Alright, let's have a look at the exposition model. Oops. Oh, you can go it. Ah, that would have been cool. Let's go ahead and restart it. Yes. We'll go into overhead view and we'll just watch. Oh, okay. Let's run down to about the middle of the ship, do you think? In fact, we could actually go onto the gantry, I believe. The aerial gantry. Will it let us? Yes, it will. That's good. Oh, we can go right up to the top of the ship. Look at this. Oh, look at that. They've actually got Bowtech on here as well. That's cool. Have they removed the bridge aboard the ship? Can we be on the ship as she's launching? Alright, let's launch her standing on the ship herself. We can. We're moving. Look at that. Now that's cool. Alright, let's check and see if they've removed the bridge. I don't believe they have. They have not. So this portion here, the bridge should not actually be on the ship yet. Let's have a look at Titanic over there. Yep. slipping past us. Yes, the bridge should not be on the ship yet. It should be kind of just a gaping hole right there, really. But she would definitely look strange without a bridge. In fact, all of the white section here shouldn't be on yet. I believe including the bridge wings. Oh, these bulwarks would have been on, though. Here we go, slipping past the Titanic. And we are in water. That's pretty cool. Question now, can I jump off the Olympic? Oh, I can. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that was fun. Anyway, let's back out of that and let's have a look at the whoops. Let's have a look at the exposition now, shall we? So this is just a model ship which gives us the detailed model to look at. Have they adjusted the windows here? They still haven't. No, that's kind of a shame. Got the propellers spinning back here. Olympic, Liverpool, yes. Quite a cool model. The windows on B deck are just slightly disappointing because that's one of the easiest ways apart from the A deck promenade to tell the two ships apart. Do you know what is interesting though is looking at C deck, I do believe they've adjusted that to be more similar to the Olympic, which is interesting. Definitely some interesting looks here. What's going on? Looking at what she looked like in 1911, you'll notice her lifeboat arrangement is much more similar to what was on Titanic. What are your remarks about? Anyway, here we are on the deck of the Titanic. On the deck of, I'm sorry. God, that's her sister's name. Back on the deck of the Olympic, we can have a look around her at night. Yes. Let's jump onto this lifeboat if we can. Here we go. Oops, we're not on the boat. Are we onto the boat? Oh, it's not going to let us into the lifeboat. That's a shame. Oh, I just wanted to have a look. Oh, they've got the funnels very well lit. So yes, the funnels on the Olympic class ships would not have been lit this well. In fact, if I take it back to 1911, yeah, no, they're still well lit. Yes, the funnels should not have been that lit. Olympic and Titanic actually didn't have lights on their funnels, nor did Britannic. Anyway, I think that's about it for the Olympic, so let's move on to the next one, shall we? Go ahead and back out of the game. All right. So that's the Olympic. And the Titanic and the Britannic one are very similar. Now, I'm curious if the Titanic one gives us interior. Titanic is generally more detailed than her sisters in games like this because usually the developers focus on her because, well, she's the clickbait title, right? Titanic is a very clickbait word. So let's go ahead and have a look. All right, so straight away we've got black and white and a different menu screen. Let's go ahead and hit start. Once again, we're going to open normal touchscreen controls. Then we've got Titanic modes. We've got Flying Day, Harland and Wolff, Titanic Dock. Oh, and then interior is a premium feature. That's a shame. As a sinking wreck and nighttime. Interesting. So with Olympic, everything was free. It looks like with Titanic, they want us to pay for a bit more. And I guess that is fair, given that as I said before, Titanic is kind of we can actually turn the color mode on and off. Titanic is the clickbait title, so let's have a look around the Titanic and see what we can see. One of the first things I want to check actually is the bridge wing overhang from the Atlantic Promenade. Can we see it? Yes, we can. You'll see the bridge wings here overhang by just a little bit, but it does differentiate her from her sister by a little bit as well. We've got lifeboats hanging over the side here. Alright, so let's go ahead and climb on up to boat deck. There aren't too many differences here between Titanic and Olympic. It's mostly Wow, okay. Glitchiness. Yes, there are not too many differences between Titanic and Olympic. It is mostly the bridge wing overhang, and then obviously lifeboat layout. Because on Titanic, you would have collapsible C. So this is actually wrong. You have collapsible C there. Or I'm sorry, collapsible D there. Then collapsible B up there, and then lifeboat number 2 hanging over the side there. Can we get into the wheelhouse on the Titanic? We cannot. Alright, so let's see what else we have. We have Titanic dock. Harland Wolff, I'm assuming, is going to be a very similar... Whoops. Okay. Wow. Let me go ahead and mute that. Good. Alright, and we will skip and close that. Alright, so here we have Titanic in dock. Oh, and her dry dock, apparently. Interesting, okay. So this actually, I apologize. This is the dry dock here. She's kind of docked in Belfast here. By Titanic dock, I was kind of expecting more Southampton, but no. Apparently, we've got you've got the. This looks very Honor and Glory inspired, especially because they also put the crane on the wrong side of the ship. The crane should be on the other side of the Titanic. Can we get over to the Titanic is the question. Yes, we can. It's going to take a little while, though. Oh, well, okay. Well, I can run over water, so that's good. Now, can we board Titanic from here? In more than one area is the question. So obviously in Honor and Glory, Demo 3, you can board the ship here on this little platform, although you can't get very far. Oh no, it looks like that's the only entrance that they've included into the ship. So in Honor and Glory, there's another platform right about between the second and third funnels, and that'll be for the first class entrance. And it leads you into the D-deck reception room right next to the grand staircase. Anyway, let's go ahead and board the Titanic. Belfast looks very... Belfast? How did I say that before? Looks very detailed, actually. Alright, so climbing up onto the ship. We do have boxes here, so... Yeah, Titanic obviously at this point would be very much still under construction, although unfortunately it looks like they have not given us any access into third class. No. So that seems to be a trend with games I've noticed. Under the poop deck, you would not, like, it would be two very open plan rooms, but games seem to just exclude that for some reason. Because you'd have the general room on this side, and on the other side of the ship you would have the third class smoking room. And then right here in the middle, if you were to walk through here, then turn right, you'd have a staircase going down into more third class accommodations. There's actually a Roblox game that portrays that well. I might play that one live. Not today, but just at some point. You've got the rolling hills of Belfast Lough in the distance. I like that. No flag on the flagpole today. That's a shame. Anything on the docking bridge? Nope. Docking bridge looks quite sparse and barren. We do have a telegraph, a binnacle, and a helm. 2 telegraphs, a binnacle, and a helm. But that looks like it. The poop deck is very, very cluttered. Alright. So anyway, continuing. Let's go ahead and head forward, shall we? Let's see how far forward it'll let us get. Also curious if it'll give us any peek at the interior. So, what I did in my last animation, there should be a ladder behind this cowl vent, and you can climb up it onto a deck. Alright, looks like we're going to get the same basic look at the interior that we had on the Olympic, where it's just second class. Assuming we can't... Oh! I just fell through the ship. Alright, well, yes, it looks like I was correct, so... Goodness. Logo advert is very, very loud. Alright, let's go ahead and skip that. And I guess we could... Yeah, if we speed up time and climb up to the Titanic, let's go ahead and launch her and just watch her travel past us. So I intended to watch it from here for the Olympic, but I ended up just boarding her. Why don't we actually just stay up here for the Titanic? We will go as far back as we can. And if I press Titanic launch, we can just watch the ship sliding past us. Oops. Or we can fall to our deaths. That also works. Not so fun fact, a couple people actually did during the building of the Titanic as well. I believe it was 3 people lost their lives during the construction of the ship. And I believe more as well during the construction of the Olympic. That's kind of a cool view, right? Kind of intimidating as well. Oh, by the way, Britannic's keel should be laid by now. And yes, it is. You can see Britannic's keel blocks right here. I cannot jump, unfortunately, right now. Which is alright. But we can watch Titanic sliding past us. There she goes. Titanic. Alright, let's try to catch up with her at the water. Want to see those propeller knobs going in? Oh, there she goes. She's hit the water. And there she goes. Notice how high up she floats as well. That's actually not a mistake. That is accurate. Because at this point, obviously, she doesn't have funnels. She doesn't have too many interior furnishings beyond what the builders need to be able to get around the decks of the ship. She doesn't have anything that weighs her down, really. And obviously, she doesn't have cargo or passengers either, so she's very, very empty and light. So she floats very well. And apparently, my battery power is getting low. That's good. Anyway, that is Titanic. Let's go ahead and back out of that. We're just going to go ahead and close this. There we go. Alright, let's see. What haven't we done yet? Okay, so we've got Britannic 4D simulation, a Titanic Minecraft thing, and an ocean liner and a battleship thing. Let's jump into the Britannic. Let's see what's going on with her. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit start. We're going to go normal once again. Okay. And yes, it's giving us the same little tutorial that we had for Olympic and Titanic. Britannic sinking appears to be free. They don't seem to be charging for that. So maybe we should check that out. Let's go ahead and check her sinking out. Oh, what happens in real time? Okay, so Britannic did sink faster than Titanic, but it was not a lot. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it was still over an hour, so okay, it's not real time anymore. Good. Oh, and you can definitely see the list. She's listing heavily. I didn't notice the mine impact. Looks like the boats are already gone. Gantry davits are swung out. I should have had a look at this before. I'm not sure if the gantry davits actually operate. Wait, do they? I think I saw a boat. Wow, it's getting difficult to walk Britannic's decks already. So yes, for those of you who don't know, Britannic, sister ship to the Titanic, sank in World War I after striking a mine November 21st, 1960. Oh my goodness, she sank so fast. I didn't even have a chance. Alright, let's do that again. Let's go ahead and have a look. See if we can see the mine. I'm not seeing it. Alright. Speed it up a little bit faster than real time. Yep, nope. She's... Yeah, so if we just watch her go down, you can see... Oh, the gantry davits do work. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Look at that. So unfortunately, when Britannic sank, there were 30 deaths, but fortunately, there were no patients aboard when she did. It was all staff. The 30 who lost their lives were ship's officers or cooks or stewardesses or nurses. all people who were serving on the Britannic, not yeah. Still sad that they lost their lives, obviously. But thankfully there were no patients. Oops. Good. Okay. I'm going to put my character on the stern, and then I'm going to speed up from real time. I've been speeding up from real time far too quickly. I'm just going to put my character on the stern so that I don't die. Because I want to actually watch the sinking through. In fact, might be wise to jump onto a lifeboat? Let's see. Alright, if we stand here... I believe this boat was able to leave Britannic. I could be wrong, actually. She did list over to... do you know what? Most of the boats on the other side of the ship left, so... I'll go to one of those instead. Oh, by the way, can we go in here? Oh, we can. Yeah, so there's stairs down here to the A-deck promenade. Game doesn't seem to want us using them, so that's alright. Actually, the game doesn't really seem to want us moving at a normal speed. Alright, that's fine then. Let's just go to the other side of the Britannic, and we will stand here. I believe this lifeboat leaves. Alright. Let's go ahead and speed up from real time. So yes, again, it took her 54 minutes, I believe, to completely sink. A little bit under an hour. I may have been mistaken with the lifeboat, by the way. Doesn't look like those davits are swinging back in, does it? Oh, actually. Nope, I think I might be safe. Do I return to my character? Yes, I'm on a boat. Alright. I believe, I could be mistaken here, but I believe that everyone on Britannic was able to get onto a lifeboat. Unfortunately, a couple of the boats were actually shredded by the propellers, which I did not see it would have happened on the other side of the ship. Oh, wow, there's the plunge. She would have hit the bottom of the ocean. There it goes. Yes, what happened there is she actually hit the bottom of the ocean. In fact, you can see it here. And she kind of broke the front of her bow off a little bit. Then she came to a rest on her side. I wish I had time to go more in depth with that one, because honestly, the Britannic one seems to actually have more playability than any of the others. Yes, alright. We try... Oops. Back out of the sinking. We're not doing the sinking again. Let's see what else we have for the Britannic. So, exposition, wreck, and night. We can do exposition. So this is interesting. They haven't given us an exterior in her hospital colors. This is actually what she would have appeared like in service, and Britannic was never actually painted like this. She never got to see passenger service the way that she was intended to. Oh, here we go. Okay, so they do give us a hospital version as well. You can just change the date. Fair enough. 1914. Well, I guess 1914 she was still under construction, so... Excuse me. I apologize. But yeah, you can actually see... she wasn't supposed to have Welland davits. It was all supposed to be gantry davits, and that kept her decks very clear. In fact, actually clearer than the decks on Titanic. The reason that Welland davits were not installed on all of the ships post-Britannic is actually because during Britannic sinking, one set of gantry davits straight up refused to work. Another one broke down, and the rest of them all had some issues. They did allow the boats to get away safely, the ones that they launched. But if we look at 1915, you can also see she never received her port side gantry davits, and she got a lot of Welland davits with a couple of regular lifeboats to make up the numbers. Something you'll also notice with the Britannic is she's got some stairwells at the back, if I can zoom in here. She's got some stairwells here. right behind the second class entrance. In fact, the door on the second class entrance is in a different place as well. It's not on the sides anymore. It's right in the middle at the back. And you've got some stairwells down as well. And the aft well deck has been covered. Britannic was larger than Titanic in terms of gross tonnage, and she was actually physically larger as well. She was about a foot wider, I believe, on both sides. It might have just been a foot wider, but she was wider than either of her sisters to incorporate a double hull into her design, I believe. Yeah, you can't see that here, but yeah. So I think that's quite interesting. Anyway, I reckon we should move on. I honestly wish I'd given Britannic a bit more time, and I kind of wish I'd started with her because um, there seems to be more content with Britannic than with any of the others. Anyway, let's go ahead and goodness, it does not want to let me close this, does it? There we go. All right. So let's check out now. Let's jump into Ocean Liner Simulator, and I'll do Fleet Battle as its own dedicated video. Probably later tonight, actually. Oops. This app personalizes your advertising experiences. I'm just gonna hit no thanks and hope that that lets me. All right. Sandbox Arrival. We've got the RMS Titanic, of course. What else do we have? The HMHS Britannic, the RMS Olympic, HMS Aquitania, Mauretania, Carpathia, apparently. Why does Carpathia cost more than Mauretania and Aquitania? In fact, why does Mauretania cost more than Aquitania? We've also got... I don't believe this is the first Britannic, but it's... She came before... No, this is the first Britannic. So, SS Britannic, 1874, she was launched. Much smaller than the Britannic that I was on before, as you can see. SS Atlantic. Atlantic is famous. She has her own sinking tragedy story. And then we get back to the RMS Titanic. Alright, let's go ahead and hit play and see what this has in store for us. So let's go ahead and hit 1, and we're just going to do... Alright, we might do more than just the 1, because this will be insane otherwise. Interesting. So the turbine engine, you can either turn it to off or auto. What happens if I go to... Okay, slow ahead, half ahead, and the turbine engages? Wow, they got it right. Good on them. I was not expecting that. So yes, the turbine engine on Titanic would engage at half ahead. They have given her... Wow, those propellers are something, aren't they? They gave her a 4-bladed sensor propeller, and I kind of know why. It's, well, partially because of the film, and also partially because, well, both of her sisters had it. Should we listen to the horn? Do you think they've used the actual sounding of Titanic's horn, or do you reckon they used Olympic's horn, which is what it should actually sound like? Or have they used just a random, like, car horn? I'm curious. Well, it's a ship horn, but it's not an Olympic class horn. I don't have the patience for this. I'm just gonna go full ahead. Oops. What was that? Alright, so I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. This is the kind of game that I will probably play a lot more in my spare time. I do not think there's enough content. Oh, I can speed up time. We need to slow down because we're going at 7 knots and it wants us to go at less than 1. We're still going at 6.5 knots. Okay, this ship does not slow down very fast, does she? Yeah, so realistically, I'm not actually going to try this again. That sound kind of actually That kind of annoys me. It was so good, but that's alright. Oh, we've got a map here as well. That's cool. Yep, I'm not actually going to try to fix that. This is the kind of game that I will play in my spare time because I enjoy tedious games like that. Probably not going to play it again for you guys unless you really, really want me to. But also, with my phone currently being at low battery power, I think that's actually where I'm going to end this stream. So if you've enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. It means the world to me. If you have already subscribed, then you're one of my favorites. I love you. Thank you so much. But yeah, that's going to be it. I will see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.